Wow, this game just gets crazier and crazier, and we have made it finally to the end. This is the final episode of Metaphor ReFantazio. 57 episodes. Not quite as long as my Persona 5 one, which was 100. Definitely one of the longest games that I've played on this channel, for sure. So we learned the true identity of Moore, and I didn't see it coming that he was actually the former king, that he is William's father. We've basically been defeated and are on death's door from Luis, and Moore wants us to stay with him in this fantasy world that he was saying was actually the reality, the real world, but we weren't having any of that. And it took some work, but we were eventually able to talk him into letting us go back and following our dreams and fighting for what we believe in. And so he's giving us another chance at life so that we can end this once and for all. Are you guys ready for actually, finally, the final fight with Luis? I will see you guys at the end where I'll talk about my final thoughts about the game, and until then, enjoy.
Everyone, he's awake!
Let's go.
Is he all right?
You're all okay.
Thank the stars.
Huh. Considering it was we who engaged Amata's gambit, this must be rather humorous to him.
We pulled through, thanks to Neurus.
Neurus!
Can't believe he caught us mid-plummet on that busted Skyrunner.
MVP!
Well, don't leave out highs, mate. Wouldn't have expected his wings to be so handy.
Never again.
What? How?
We're in good shape. Our wounds have already healed. It was all so fast. I'm still a little shocked. True. It's bound to be everyone hoping the best for us below. Like what Luis did. Only the magic working in reverse. What?
He's back.
Why? Why do you still stand in defiance? What drives such tenacity?
Luis! The world is full of injustice. Not everything you've said is wrong, much as it hurts to admit.
Yet, you would give up because you see no other way. And no future can come from that. We may struggle with fear and anxiety, but we shape our own destiny with our own hands. I have no doubts.
Yes, you're a man who has endured tragedy. It's foolish, I know, all this talk of belief. I know well. That said, if you cast aside all belief, all that remains is to endure a slow death.
As for me, I believe things can change. I have to. Singing and believing aren't so far apart, right? Even then, my songs touched you too. I know they did. After I'd idealized my death more than I ever did my life, thanks to a chance encounter, everything changed for me. Now I can hope for the best, without fearing for the worst. The possibilities are endless. If you ask me, that's what magic is.
Luis, you got all these people who believe in you, because you gave them a shred of hope. And now, you want to crush that hope. Maybe you're the one who's scared. Deep down, you're afraid to admit to yourself you're the one who's hopeless now.
Luis, the fairies came to live in the Sanctum. But do you know why we chose it? The Elda tribe. We admired the people of humanity. To make our dreams into realities, we have to trust each other. When people do that, that's what makes them so amazing. If you deny the power of trust, if you make the world a place where it can't exist, then you're just plain wrong!
Fools. These false foundations. Who in their right mind could promise such fantasies? I will never let injustice be repeated. Never again!
This is very much reminding me of Final Fantasy VI. I was waiting for him to tell us we sounded like a self-help book.
His aura is entirely different. It's a magla burst. Luis is becoming a human.
Come on then! No choice now. We prove ourselves with all that we are!
Okay. Okay,
Go
that...
then.
There's
This is
still
our final battle.
one more fight. Ugh.
Again,
Wow.
the world must be shattered,
Oh,
and again
shit.
it must be rebuilt anew. You will die in tribute to my ideals, Prince.
We will win this. For the sake of our world.
Mask of ire, joy, mirth.
Face me! I'm barely staying awake.
The world of all
Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Hold on.
shall perish.
Let me just start over. I did the wrong thing.
We'll win this.
Are you guys gonna do a gamble for this, by the way? I meant to do, shelter. Okay.
Everyone, back up!
This'll be over soon at last, Dancer. Maybe not. Looks like
Oh,
Kim will
man.
force through this one. Watch me.
See if he has any weaknesses or resistances or whatnot.
On you, let's
Okay.
go. Ideals
Light.
have no meaning. The world of old and its people shall perish.
Oh, which one should I take out first? Which one's the one that heals? Probably one of the ones on the side, right?
Ah!
Julio left him wide open.
I don't know.
Let's see that new weakness. Now that's finesse.
Nice.
Beautiful touch, Heisman.
Nice!
Face me! Freeze!
Beautiful, Heisman.
That did not do a lot of damage, did it?
This might sting.
There is minus power in your fantasy.
Nice. You hit their weakness. That's your
All
opening,
right.
Captain.
Let us clean up this mess. I'm barely staying awake.
With no sacrifices to offer up, he remains calm.
My shoulders.
I see your game.
Fight a losing battle.
Mass dancer. Going for the weak spot.
The world of old and its freeze.
better be
Captain.
ready.
Berserker!
Get wrecked!
Right in their weak spot.
Be not
him down,
all
Fantazio.
power of kings. Sleet!
Hit their weakness. This is just what I need. This might sting.
Let's go. The world and its ideals have no need for you.
Ice!
Who should...
Berserker! Berserker!
Okay, so far, so good. With no sacrifices to offer up. What does that mean?
I'll use
Oh,
what
that
I must.
agility being down on that is really good.
Freeze!
Hit their weakness. Nice moves, I say. Going for the weak spot. Great job, Juna.
I will
Now they're weak to something new.
freeze.
You hit their weakness. That's your opening,
Okay,
Captain.
let's do... Oh, awesome souls, do your thing!
Do I need to charge?
Wait a sec.
Did I charge?
To the front. All right!
I don't think I
You're
charged,
out
but...
of here.
Oh,
You think
damn!
yourself equal to a Eugene's
Oh,
agility?
shit, I killed one.
Sleet!
Oops. I didn't want to kill one.
Beautiful,
I
High
think
Fae.
maybe he might have a
Save them if you have
sacrifice
to,
now.
sir.
Well, that's
Raging
scary.
fire. Hit their weakness. Don't let us down, Juna.
Ice.
You better be ready.
Come here.
Got us closing in.
Berserker!
Cilio left him wide open. Let's hit that new weakness.
You struggle in vain. Give in to the truth. Your fantasy has no meaning whatsoever.
No sacrifices to offer up. Maybe if one of my team members die, they will be a sacrifice.
Freeze!
Hit their weakness. Nice move, show you. This might sting.
You come forth, royal soul. Freeze.
You hit their weakness. That's your
I'm
opening,
ready.
Captain.
All right!
Eek. Sleet!
How trivial.
This is just what I need. Going for the weak spot.
Keep debuffing him.
The world. Let's go. Ice. And its people.
Okay, let's do this.
Berserker!
Get wrecked!
Boom!
Beat him down, Basilio.
Too slow!
You defy me.
All power of kings!
Hit their weakness. Nice I call upon a royal soul. This might sting.
You come forth, royal soul.
Maybe I should stop trying to debuff him.
You hit their weakness. That's your opening,
Oh, awesome
Captain.
souls, do your thing!
Eek. Freeze!
To behold this power. Going for the weak spot. Great job, Juna.
I will.
Now they're weak to something new.
We're looking pretty healthy here.
Freeze!
Staying safe? Here I go! You're out of here!
Damn. No sacrifices to offer up.
The inequities of the world can only be cleansed if the strong subsume the weak. Now, be a noble sacrifice.
No, thank you.
Sacrifice yourself
No,
to
thank
the
you.
new age.
No, thank you. Hi, Zmei.
Is he trying to swallow those people? Wait, they're puppets? I'm sensing deadly magma in the puppets.
Oh,
Attack him before he swallows more.
okay. Yeah.
Sleet!
Beautiful, Heismay. You gave them a new weakness. Just what I need. Burn! You hit their weakness.
I don't know what's going on with this.
Ice!
Maybe it's just a...
The puppet's magma's fading.
Oh.
You hit their weakness. That's
Okay.
your opening, Captain.
Ah!
Cilio left him wide open.
Let us click
Let's hit that new weakness.
Everyone, back up!
Let's play it safe here.
There is no
Behold this power.
in your fantasy.
Oh, Faker's Roguery.
This
Let's try to
might
get another
sting.
turn. Gained 3 icons! Let's go!
And its people shall perish.
Freeze!
How trivial.
Stay insane enough to the front. Oh, awesome souls, do your thing!
I need to charge. We might as well stay back.
You think you face me? There's a better way. Eat. That all you have?
With the sacrifices lost, the area is calm. Oh, so we have to get rid of the sacrifices before
To the new age.
the end of the turn or something. Oh. I don't know who that is.
I call upon a royal soul. Going for the weak spot.
There is
Come
no
forth,
power
Royal Soul!
in your
Ice!
fantasy.
You hit their weakness. That's your
I'm
opening,
closing in.
Captain.
Here I go! You're out of here!
The puppet's magma's fading. Right in their weak spot. Beat him down, Basilio.
Tis best used.
Watch me. This might sting.
Okay.
Great job, Juna.
Our new
Now
world
they're
and
weak
its
to something new.
ideals have no need for you. There is no power in your fantasy.
Perhaps this suits me best. Now accept your fate. Too much, perhaps? I was saving this.
We're running out of MP.
This is just what I need.
We're all running out of MP.
No need to rush this.
Maybe I should have just used that. Fuck it.
Let's get some use out of this.
You knew you'd help.
That helped us out.
My thanks.
I think we're almost done here.
We can do this. Let's go! Freeze!
How trivial.
I feel so slow.
That's lame.
Sacrifice yourself to the new age.
Juna, careful! It looks like you've got
Awesome
several ailments.
souls, do your
Watch
thing.
your back. The puppet's magic
Let us clean up. Face me!
Right in their weak spot. Beat
Freeze!
him down, Basilio. You hit their weakness. Nice move, Fantazio. Going for the weak spot.
Go
By the
team!
Ice!
You hit their weakness. That's your opening, Captain.
Next turn for sure. Basilio can solo him.
You Sleet!
I'll show you. Raging fire. You hit their weakness. Don't let
won't
him
hold
down,
back.
Juna.
Freeze! I feel so heavy.
Just as long as you don't use it on Basilio.
Sacrifice yourself to the new age.
Juna, careful. It looks like you've got several ailments.
Go, Basilio! Get your revenge for Dell! Let's go.
My perfect world! Not yet. I refuse. I won't let it end like this.
Give it up. Look at his face. Oh my god, he has a new form again? What is this? Oh my god!
You will be a sacrifice. You will sustain the strong. Oh, weak one. Oh, peon.
He has the eyes of each of the races. The green is like Yufa, and then the red over there is Ujif, like Heizme.
His magla has gone out of control. At this rate, even a man of Luis's mental strength would lose his grip on sanity.
In the end, even he couldn't escape his own anxiety.
Then by his own logic, we've got to put him down. The weak deserve to die. The bastard's own words, yeah?
If he saw a threat in our power, then let us wield it.
You can't just believe in nothing. Nobody can rely on themselves alone. It's a pitiful way to live, and it's time we put an end to it.
Luis Squeaburn! Here and now, I will strike you down!
Okay, it's time to do this. Give us our final call to arms.
Come on, everyone. Let's go!
This is our last chance. We've come this far. We
Destroyer,
have to end this here
okay.
and now.
All right.
Everyone, back up!
The world
Dancer,
and its people.
going for the weak spot.
Debuff.
It's a freeze!
Here I go! Don't be scared.
All right, let's see what he does. Is he gonna undo all my buffs and debuffs? Extreme intimidation. Chance of inflicting anxiety has reached its peak. All buff effects removed. Great. The link has been severed.
I'm losing my power. I can protect us. This aura's overpowering.
Why did I lose a
Harder,
turn?
right? Just hold on.
I'll use what I must. Freeze!
Beautiful, Heismane! You gave them a new weakness! This might sting! Great job, Juna!
On you will.
Now
Come
they're
forth,
busy
my royal
with
soul. Have no need for you.
Ice!
You hit their weakness! That's your
I'm
opening,
to the
Captain!
front.
Berserker! Get wrecked!
Basilio left him wide open!
Let us clean up.
Let's hit that new weakness!
Sleet!
You hit their weakness! Nice move,
Behold this
Heismane!
power! Raging fire!
You hit their weakness! Don't let up now, Juna!
We're all buffed up.
Freeze!
Stay.
Berserker!
Ah.
Basilio, nice dodge!
No.
It's all collapsing!
Ooh.
Magma's all gathering together! Juna, are you okay? You look like you're about to drop!
Not now.
Oh. What happened to the anxiety?
Freeze!
You hit their weakness! Nice moves, Heismane!
We're fighting with the power of our dad. That's the
I call upon the
more
royal soul.
like academia theme.
Going for the weak spot!
Great job, Juna! Now they're weak to something new!
Ice!
You hit their weakness! That's your
Stay
opening,
insane
Captain!
in a fight.
Berserker! Ah!
Right in their weak spot!
You think
Beat him
yourself
down,
equal?
Basilio!
Sleet!
How trivial.
Masked dancer! No need to worry.
I'm kind of
That
worrying.
helped us out.
He did a lot of damage
Much
there.
thanks.
On you will.
Come forth, royal soul.
Have no need for you.
Let's see. All our buffs are gone.
Freeze!
Berserker!
God, nice and some awesome souls. Do your thing. What is this?
Oh. Yes.
Beautiful dodge!
Thank you, Heismane.
Basilio's been hit with some kind of status
Now
ailment!
accept your
No,
fate.
a bunch of them!
Freeze!
You hit their weakness!
Behold
Nice
this
move,
power.
Heismane!
Burn!
We're getting there. We are getting there.
You hit their weakness!
I will
Don't let up now, Juna!
Ice!
You hit their weakness! That's your opening,
Stains
Captain!
folding in.
All right! Get wrecked!
Right in their weak spot!
Let us
Beat him down, Basilio!
Everyone, back up!
The world
Show you!
and its people shall perish.
This might sting!
It's okay. Okay, here I go.
Why can you not understand my ideals?
Because they're batshit crazy.
Feel true terror.
It's making it harder to fight!
Well,
Just hold on! Watch me! Going for the weak spot! Great job, Juna!
There is no
Now to
power
reach to something new!
in your fantasy.
Freeze!
You hit their weakness! That's your
You
opening,
better be
Captain.
ready. Hold to the front.
Facility's been hit with some kind of status ailment! No!
Ah!
A bunch of them!
ah! That sucks.
Lydia, a foolish people, fearing and denying solitude. Be gone from this world.
No!
What's happening? Seriously?
Leave Juna alone!
I see your
Now
game.
that's finesse! Beautiful dodge, Heisman!
I'll use what I must. Freeze!
You hit their weakness! Nice move,
Behold
Heisman!
this power! Raging fire!
You hit their weakness! Don't let up now, Juna!
It's time!
Who's...
Face me! Sleeve!
I've got just the dance for you. You might say it's to die for. Can't let it go unused.
That helped. Freeze! Let's work together.
Why can't I use it?
No, this won't work. Let's set it up.
Oh, does everybody have to have 99 MP?
Not this.
Oh well.
Come forth.
It would have been cool.
Nice.
You hit their weakness.
It would have been really cool.
Here I go. Get
We have Basilio though.
Their weak spot. Beat him down, Facilio.
I'm barely staying awake.
Masked dancer. This might sting.
I won't hold back.
Come on, let's finish him off. Yes. Now stay down this time. Jeez.
But why? Why is it still beyond me?
Because you don't have any friends. Ooh.
Dawn breaks.
Man, our gauntlet runner is really messed up.
Look! He's done it! He's finally beaten Luis!
Woo! Maria!
Does this mean he's won? I'm not dreaming this.
He did it.
Not yet.
Ah!
I have my ideal.
Come on! What the hell? He just does this stay dead. This is leave my gauntlet runner alone.
Everyone's fighting their fear and anxiety. Nobody knows for sure what's right. And even through all that, the people have declared you king!
We fight for more than justice. Show him our will against his. Show him the fall of his world!
Hold fast to your ideals! 'Tis your sworn duty as king!
You've wielded the power of kings! It's time to stop following their footsteps! Now it's your turn to take your place with them!
Okay. Yeah? Poke him in the
Your
eye.
fantasy is naught but lies!
What? What's going on?
Some craziness. What the hell? Oh. We the king now? We can use the king's magic?
Now, die!
I don't think so!
No. Fantasy is more than an empty dream. It's a dream with the power to change the world!
Whoa!
Damn you!
Reminds me of Persona 5. Let's go! Look at, we have a crown. And no more royal scepter to absorb everyone's anxieties. I finally, finally bested my adversary Luis, who had become a threat to all mankind. Thankfully, the nightmare of an entire populace transformed into humans has been averted. This nation has some hope for a future. I thought you were gone.
The lord that governs Utopia in all worthy champions. The hero's archetype. The king.
The king archetype.
I see. At long last, fantasy has become a force that frees people from anxiety. A harbinger of change for a deadlocked reality.
The people have chosen my son. With that, my tremendous gamble hath borne fruit. Thus it is that my duty here draws to a close.
And now, the novel you wrote with such passion will finally begin a new chapter.
Plateau?
This voice... is that... could it be? But how?
While flames swept through the sanctum, I cast a final spell to abandon my body and survive in soul. I became an immaterial being among the fairies. I had to, so I might provide guidance to the child on his most perilous path.
The power of the archetypes. Was that your doing?
No. All I did was awaken them to it.
Mommy.
My voice carried the words they needed to hear.
So it was our mom? I called it.
That power is no great and rare treasure. It is something that might be grasped by anyone with the will to change the world.
I had a feeling. Oh man. Our family is wild.
And anyone has the power to change the world. Those children proved as much. Now, that boy has grasped the courage of a warrior. All dragons who still roamed the continent have fallen by his hand. For what greater embodiment of the impossible is there than a dragon? And he now possesses the power and will to quell those forces.
I see. Then he is not so weak a child that I must hold his hand. I am truly sorry. I lost all the power I once knew. I saw the sanctum burn. And you. I lost you. Once they took our child from me, all my remaining hope went with him. And so I placed my faith in the royal magic. I believe that if this world would choose him, there would still be hope.
This shall do. That boy's fight, and ours, is finally over. The people no longer need some mystic relic or some lofty magics to soothe their fears. They have found the strength to overcome it within. Provided they can turn their anxiety into strength and never stop walking toward the unknown, reality will ever change. Their world shall be one full of possibility.
This isn't about the throne anymore. It marks the beginning of a new era, led by those who are truly worthy of the people's trust. Almost the appointed time now. The day is dawning on a new king's reign. And with it, my true passing. However, if I may truly end my life with pride in my boy, and my love at my side, I've no regrets.
It's been a long road to this moment, hasn't it?
It has indeed. But for our son, a new journey now begins.
Where'd the kitty go, though?
Heed me, all people of the kingdom. Dawn breaks, and the appointed hour hath come.
He speaks. With the announcement of our new king, everything finally ends.
Well, it's also a new beginning. Everything begins.
I now settle the long-contested succession to the throne. They who hath gathered the most faith from their subjects amassed. They who hath overcome this fierce contest. The throne's new sovereign I now reveal. Behold, your new king of your kingdom united.
That is just freaky.
Look! It's him! Yeah!
Woo!
Yay! Look! Look, that's him, isn't it? He won!
He certainly did, love. He really did. Oh, I still can't believe it. That boy pulled it off. His Majesty, the new king.
I won't accept it! The new king is Count Luis.
Luis is dead.
You can't just
I
crown his
think.
son after all. That's cheating, that is. Rise up, people! Riot!
Disorderly conduct will not be permitted.
Settle down. The tournament is over.
Our new king has been decided, and the royal capital falls under His Majesty's rule. Threaten it, and you shall face the wrath of the crown theocracy's warrior monks.
Godot works for us now.
Bloody fantastic. They really did it.
Quietude descended once again upon the royal capital, and the day of the new king's coronation arrived.
Let's go.
Boy, coronation really crept up on us. There's a lot of people in the crowd.
I hope I can do this.
Don't tell me you're nervous. After everything we survived already, stage fright should be nothing for you.
This is the scariest thing ever. My heart's pounding.
All the same, my heart's pounding out of my chest.
Is it? Nothing you're not used to then. It's just like with the archetypes. Just keep your head high.
Okay, I'll try.
It'll be fine. We'll keep the crowd warmed up for you.
Are you gonna sing?
Your newfound dignity suits you well, Your Highness. Ah, but I suppose you have outgrown that title.
It's Your Majesty now.
Your Majesty. Yes, that too suits you well.
Your Majesty, I hope I can live up to that title.
By the way, saw some of them Senate fat cats hovering about, acting like they've been supporting us from the start, of course. Always on the winning side, eh?
Better than the alternative, no? Especially since we've got some Luis diehards among the people.
I hear that many are concerned about his proficiency with statecraft. To be honest, I'm not so sure myself.
And their concern is justified. It's not as though I swayed the entire kingdom with my idealistic views.
Juna will stand as moderator at the podium. His Majesty will only be asked for a few brief answers. First, the people would know how you aim to lead them. How will you respond to that, Your Majesty?
Oh, we can change the world.
We have the power to change the world. All of us. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'll strive to do my utmost. With all of you at my side.
That's fine. The people have about had it with pompous monologues. Better to say what you mean with determination.
Let's keep it short and sweet.
There are a lot of people in the crowd who have never supported you. How are you going to respond to them?
Well, I'll let my work prove my words.
I'll have to let my work prove my words. With results, I hope everyone can feel that our future will be brighter.
You went from a nobody to the top seat in the nation. No need to puff up and bluster anymore, what? You'll do fine.
A ruler must only stand tall. The rest is not done alone. We are with you.
Indeed. And we're no strangers to more practical work. Whatever our tasks, I'm sure we can handle them.
Well, it's time to make your first appearance as our king. Let us brace ourselves.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks for always having my back.
Thanks for always having my back.
Well, let's go. To His Majesty, the new king.
King William.
All right, a warm welcome, please! His Majesty the new king!
We did it. We got the prince on the throne.
You're so young.
Please.
But
My king, your subjects would hear how you intend to lead them.
Relax, okay? Take it easy and use your own words.
we did it.
As a ruler, I've much to learn. I cannot say what I'll accomplish. And yet, I believe the world can change by our hand. And to that end, I will face any odds.
Now, Your Majesty, a few more words. Naturally, some under your rule now supported other people in the race. How do you respond to their voices?
There will be times I let you down. I know that. Only results can prove my intent. But still, even should you oppose your king, you can always believe in your own future. I will make sure of it.
A nation where dreams and fantasies are always in reach. Will surely be a challenge.
So the tutorial's over, right?
We'll make it happen.
There you go. If you can pull that off, you'll be the finest king we've known. Well then, this is it. Your attention, please.
Whoa, that is a crown.
No lord remains for you to kneel before. Please take the crown with your own hands, my king.
Look at us!
Ah, long have I awaited the arrival of this day. This journey has reached its end. He came to know the goodness of a hero's heart, and became the king his people had always hoped for.
He did?
But as this journey ends, so another begins.
Oh? Sequel?
I'd like you to watch over him on his path for a little longer yet. 1 year has passed since the arrival of the new king.
1 year.
Hey, heard the news? They're finally reopening that mage academy that got closed down.
Ooh.
You don't say. The famous one deep in the Montario Mountains. Really? I'm impressed. It only took them a year.
They've even paved a proper mountain road. And get this, their headmistress is none other than Lady Juna.
What? The songstress?
Well, she is one of the king's 6 partisans. If she managed to help save the world from Luis, I expect she knows a thing or two about magic.
Oh, yes, she does.
Sounds like they plan to fully open the magic researchers' findings to the people, too. Quite a turn from when the late Sanctifex banned it.
Makes sense to me. After the clash between His Majesty and Luis last year, everyone knows you don't really need an igniter to use magic.
And that's just today's news. It's surprise after surprise, ever since us churchfolk got the boot from the palace.
Hard to believe it's already been a full year. Only natural that there would still be unrest among the people.
Even the Royal Knights. Their leadership was bound to the church more than anything. And now he's out on his ear too. And replaced by Sir Heisme Nocturne, no less.
Heisme.
You believe that? The Royal Knights, led by a Ujif of all things. Though he's one of the 6 partisans himself. When he speaks, everyone listens.
They better.
No one's about to complain.
Even Parliament now invites citizen representatives to hearings. Strange to think we'd been deaf to the voice of the people until now. It's unbelievable, compared to the days of the autocrats. How swiftly the times change, eh?
Sounds good.
Credit where it's due. I think it's thanks to His young majesty. Remember last year's coronation? Unprecedented, that. Saw heroes of all different tribes celebrating the king's victory. Celebrating among the common folk, even. They tell me some of the younger aristocrats have taken to calling it the Great Reconciliation.
I like that.
It really is a tragedy, what happened to his father, the king. But considering how his sons turned out, I hope he's at peace.
I think he is.
Indeed. Yet the real test is still to come. The first year has seen a lot of good, but we've still got our share of problems.
People are smiling more now, but smiles won't solve the multitude of problems we still face.
Speaking of His Majesty, I've also heard some folks saying they've seen a boy wandering around these parts who looks just like him. You don't suppose?
Ah, can't be. Without his escorts? Besides, what business would a king have in this place?
Suppose you're right.
He's very pleased with himself, isn't he?
Mountains upon mountains of appeals from the people. How many days will this take to sort?
Ooh, love the new outfit.
After all the trouble you took to flee politics. And somehow you're now the preeminent ladyship of your house. Such is fate.
Despite everything, this year has passed in surprising peace, hasn't it?
My friends all stayed by my
Honestly,
side.
with the royal scepter disappearing like that, I feared more dissent.
Perhaps after Luis, they swore they could never let that happen again. Either way, more and more are dealing with conflicts calmly and openly. Promising.
It promises that I'll have an eternally cluttered desk.
Here, Your Majesty. I brought in the next load.
Oh, goody.
And there we go. Not half bad, right? Hey! Isn't the king supposed to be here?
No.
When did he? I've said countless times not to leave unannounced.
Oh, all this decoration doesn't suit me. How would Luis and Forden put up with all this damn finery?
Let me see.
Your Majesty? Are you here? Juna's back from her inspection.
Apologies, Troll. I'll look for him now.
Wait, I'm coming with you.
Oh, good grief. Some things never change. Not that they should.
I'd say life has changed plenty for us. Yet somehow our captain's same as he ever was.
And then, well, I might have got a bit too fresh with them stuck-up Sanctists. But those bloody church folk been looking down on us for years, you know? Still, it was other Sanctists what stepped in to keep things peaceable too. I reckon they're not all bad. Guess me cogs turning. They lost both their Santifex and the Saint Lady last year. Got their own struggles, I expect.
As authority weakens, power falls to the hands of those who have never wielded it. We must ensure it does not corrupt and give rise to new conflict.
Not like it excuses all of them or makes me want to go up and shake a Sanctor's hand, but you really put some perspective on it.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
It was good talking to you, too.
You know what, lad? You're all right. You ever need some good, honest work? I'll get you squared, eh?
I think I already have a lot on my plate. I'm glad to see more optimism in the world. Still, it will take more than that to effect true change.
I
I should have known you'd be wandering around without your escorts again. How is it, being able to hear the city's honest thoughts? If you told them you're the king, it'd knock them sideways. Sorry you ended up coming all this way. Maria's actually out on an errand right now.
Oh. I'll wait till she comes back.
And I suppose I'll wait until she comes back.
You sure? That girl always ends up on detours. No telling how long she'll be. Either way, let's keep your head down. You know what happens when you're too obvious about this. Sooner or later, the Lady Captain of the Royal Guard...
Oh, there you are. I knew we'd find you here, for crying out loud.
Oh, we've been caught.
Phew. So you were here.
Oh my, I love the new look on her. I love the contrast of the white and the black as opposed to just all black.
Speak of the devil.
That's really nice.
Let us return, Your Majesty. And I thought I had informed you that Juno would be back from her expedition today.
I'll go back soon.
I have a few stops left in the city, though.
You do know I practically sprinted out the gates to find you. 'Tis settled. I shall come with you on every excursion.
Ah, no.
Not dressed like that, you won't. You know how we like snooping around, inconspicuously.
Point taken.
He'll be fine. His Majesty is not about to fall prey to some alleyway scandal, surely. Right, Your Majesty. If you see Maria about, do slow down for a chat. She'll be shattered if she finds out she just missed you.
Fine. Now, Your Majesty, once your business here is finished, please make sure you return to the palace with all swiftness.
Well, let's try to do this quick then. Look at Gallica. Look at her. She's on my shoulder. Okay, we gotta talk to everybody. And, oh, we can't talk to more.
Yeah.
Dang. Alright. Let's go from the bottom this time. The king himself, out browsing the shops? Huh, perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Any recommendations? Anything you'd recommend? One igniter in particular, in fact, though I'm afraid we're all sold out of it at the moment. The igniter I made at the children's request, the one that lights up with rainbow colors, is selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children. I now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniter Consortium. I can't help but think that if I had been in this position sooner, then the church's violence, the tragedy of that village could have been prevented. It wasn't your fault.
But
there was nothing you could have done at the time, Brigitte. I know that. I only rose to this position once you became king and shed light on what lurked in the shadows of this country. Though you can't take full credit, as it were, I was nominated for my new position by my colleagues. Our new king has changed this country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all weapons can ever disappear from this world.
Yet.
It's all the more reason I hope that the reasons for people to wield them continue to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing all that I possibly can with all that I am, just as you do.
Speaking of...
Ah, yes. Do you remember my dog? I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives. But there she was. Yes! Yes! We found the dog! No way. Sitting beside them, evidently they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her instead. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to the atrocities I'd commit in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers
What do you want to do?
Yes! Oh my gosh. Yes! Oh, hi, Loveless.
Hey,
What's the word, Your Majesty? Just one question, if I may. When are you gonna lower the booze prices in this country? Haha, I'm only codding ya. Haven't felt much like drinking till I black out so often anymore. After I entered the tournament, I really went through some stuff. I was acting a fool on the world stage, and to you too.
Yeah.
I'm grateful, you know. Can't speak for the rest of the country, but you've done right by us, Parapus. We've got it better than we ever did. Some chuckleheads out there still try to take their aggression out on us, but they're just venting, probably. I'm sure you'll do something soon enough. Hey, that's so nice to hear.
Ain't this a pickle?
I wonder, are any of the other candidates around? No? Okay. Barden! Let's go see Barden, see how he's doing and how Martira is doing. Look who's behind him, the guy in the armor behind Loveless? Oh, hold on.
Ain't this a pickle? Ain't this a pickle?
Cabio? Do I know a Cabio? Shit, am I supposed to remember this guy? Ah, traveling with Lady Juna. Oh, the helmsman. Oh, okay. One of Luis's guys. Traveling with Lady Juna sure was fun. Bleh, Your Majesty, what business do you have with a former helmsman like me? What was that about Juna now? I had the honor of attending to her during an expedition. Actually, I think she's on her way to the palace in order to meet with you. You didn't hear from Chief Magnus? Lady Juna was off inspecting the Mage Academy, and I was the flight helmsman. It knocked me on my arse. When Lady Juna left Luis's company, you know, I left right after she did. Anyway, still undecided about you being king and all that, but I do appreciate you taking me in, so I'm gonna work to repay that favor.
Yeah?
On that note, about time I get back to work. Oh, and don't tell the chief I was shooting the breeze here, eh, Your Majesty? Hey, we're all friends now.
Ain't this a pickle?
Okay, we gotta hurry because I have food on the way and I'm going overtime.
Lovely, that.
That's something.
What an wait. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be in Martira? Oh, everybody's here in Grand Tran to get ready for the new year, they said. What an unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today? Ah, don't worry. I'm no tattletale. I myself just left a meeting going over how the provincial governments are doing. We convened for the new year. How are things in Martira? How are things in Martira? Oh, it's as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the provincial lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. That brings me back. Remember when he couldn't even be the leader of Martira and now he's like got this big role? That really brings me back.
To say
I know I was trying to do too much on my own back then and I got a bit overzealous. Of course, some lords are like I once was and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious, what with all the proceedings and disputes.
Then again.
Still, changing our own lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble.
Brilliant.
And choosing a king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed for change.
Lovely, that.
Yeah! Awesome. Oh, it's Milo. Oh, Your Majesty. It's already been a year since you've ascended to the throne. And 1 year since I lost my bid for it. Thinking back, I've no regrets. I'd not have been able to defeat Louise in the end, as you did. That's candid of you. I don't know what I expected really, but I believe in your power, your majesty. Though I'll not acquiesce on all fronts, you know. You needn't look further than your 6 partisans, your merry little band. I can appreciate your faith in your inner circle, but to award them all your key posts? Why, one might suspect you of collusion. A country requires views from all walks of life. Yeah, it is from all walks of life. I got a Paribus, I got a Ujif, I got a Clamar, I got a Rousant. Like, should I go on? Why not appoint me your prime minister? With my guidance, Uchronia would become a land of true beauty. Just when you think he's about to make a decent point, he plays his own angle. Don't let your guard down around that guy. Yeah, definitely not.
Lovely.
Keeping my eye out for any other candidates. I see some of my followers, but...
Say there.
Aha.
I love it.
Oh! Oh, look who it is! Gruiday! What are you doing here? Lady Gruiday? Ah, it's been quite some time, hasn't it, William? You've matured a great deal in the short years since I saw you. Rumors of your rule have reached even the Sanctum. Some are kinder than others. Taking the reins of a runaway country must have its shares of difficulties. Your face tells me as much. The frail child who could do little more than lie on the brink of death has come so far. Goodness, tears could come so easily with old age. Aww. I'm grateful for you. I did nothing. You're the one who achieved everything.
What?
I'm surprised to see you in Grand Trad, Lady Gruiday. It's a curious thing. I received a rather forceful invitation here, you see, from one of your friends, the girl named Juna. Goodness knows how many times she's already come to visit the Sanctum seeking instruction on magic. Some of the villagers are rather smitten with her. Well, that doesn't surprise me one bit. She declared that if I wouldn't feel welcome coming to Grand Trad, she would have a highway built directly between the capital and the Sanctum. Oh, Juna, and she probably would. So, there you have it. Now then, William, or rather, King William, the 1,000-year seclusion of the Elder Tribe may soon come to an end under your guidance. And yet, the journey ahead of you will be hard. The dreams you hope to achieve will feel just out of reach. So, do stop by and show your face around our forest sometime. Your mother cannot do so herself, but I can whip up some of her favorite dishes in her spirit. Yeah! That's so awesome! Alonso! Oh boy, Alonso. Let's go see our buddy Alonso.
Pleasure to see you.
Why, hello, Your Majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you become quite apt at sneaking away from your palatial duties. Under constant fire from knaves of all trades, con artists, and critics alike, your opening act has been rather tumultuous, no? It's been tough going.
But...
Yes, it's been tough, but I'm glad we've managed so far. Quite right. Your critics are loud and open with their barbs, but plenty more have put their faith in you. Besides, most of these agitators are the kind of scum that stirs the pots in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course. All in a day's work for the royal adjutant to the Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I should hope. Oh yes.
Hey.
I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become. That I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good, as I always should have. I'm sure she would. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yes.
I hope so. I was such a problem child. I'd like to make this a country where honest folk like my mother can be happy.
Now that you mention it.
Ah, that reminds me. Do you remember Dataram, my hometown's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He's since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country is doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you, and I'm proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule the day will come that even we Nydia can walk about freely in our true forms. Alonso, let me see! Ah, you're curious what I look like in my true form? I'd be happy to oblige, but let's save that for another time, shall we? Damn it, Alonso! I want to see! I want to see! Look at these two. Oh, look at Basilio! He looks so good.
Ah, brilliant.
Okay, next, Katharina.
You alright, mate? Hi there.
Oh, well, if it ain't the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself. Oh, where'd you go? I forget. Where did you go again?
What a day.
I'm captain of the Seekers Recon team, remember? We travel the world doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And crazy doesn't even begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic I'm already itching to get back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there, but what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different, my head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull if I can speak my mind. So, it'd be so cool if there was a sequel that, like, we traveled to this other country for some reason. But this country's changing for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. I appreciate it.
Hold on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Oh, come on, I'm just roasting ya. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust you with making the lives of us Parapets better than they was. All my cohort have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at sea so long.
See you soon, I hope.
But don't you worry your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, yeah? Okay. Who's next? Nuris.
But
Nuris really saved our asses multiple times in this game. We owe a lot to him, for sure. Ah, here's Lena. Hiya, boss! Oh, dang, I suppose I shouldn't be speaking to you so casually, huh? Then again, we were rivals, weren't we? And Caden Workshop's the official workshop of the Palace Engineers now. Not that it's here nor there. Besides, I'm glad you got the crown. Still, lots of humans out there you'll have to deal with, and you'll need a gauntlet runner to go get them. Caden Workshop thanks you for your patronage. Thank you. Oh, who's over here? Oh gosh, I don't even want to talk to this guy. Do I? I don't even want to talk to this guy. Oh, but we could talk to... Rudolph is always fun. To think you, of all people, would end up being the king. I never expected it, but I will tell you one thing. Wax poetic about your ideas all you want, but when it comes to protecting the country, only power will suffice. The people don't all approve of a dreamer king. Oh, who are you again?
How dare you!
What? You don't even remember my face? Bloody hell, this is why you... Ah, never mind, I'll spare you for today. I've watched silently for a year and I still don't accept you as my king. You're all ideals and no power. Same as the king before you. Dude, I literally defeated a godlike being with the power of the king's scepter with him. Like, fuck off, dude. Ho ho ho, what brings his royal majesty here? Come to feel the wind on your face too, have you? I know how it is. I've the fancy old title of Chief Engineer of the Kingdom Infrastructure Department Bureau. What? That's such a long title. God damn. And can research as I please now. But something's missing. So I threw off that stuffy old uniform and came to gaze upon the runner in the way I do. I know how you feel.
About that.
I feel like I know what you mean when you say something's missing. I knew you'd agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. I rather miss the days of dashing hither and thither in the runner.
Perhaps.
Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you've given to a man who used to skulk about modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent a teleportation device that will deliver fresh fish straight from Oceania to your palatial plates. It would change the world, wouldn't you say? I'm just a bit, stuck at the beginning on the development.
Indeed.
And it's times like this that I need stimulation of the mind. You have anything that might do the trick? Do I smell another relic hunt? Are you going to send me on another relic hunt? Don't pretend you didn't enjoy it. Every time you'd pop back in with one, I remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. I do so miss traveling like that. Even if the relics themselves were better left untouched, they become the guiding principles of my research, you know. Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations is no engineer at all.
However,
still, it's no small feat to design with a perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a poly genius. Ah, I knew it. What I need is stimulation. Your Majesty, you know, like the soul-shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. Bro, he's talking so much. You'll let me know if you ever want to go out for a spin, won't you? Oh dear, the old girl's sparkling clean and always... Oh, our dear old girl's sparkling clean and always ready for takeoff. Oh my gosh, this guy sure has a gab on him, doesn't he?
all right now.
Cat? It's Plato? Wait a second. Isn't that the cat from Academia? If that place was made of magic, how is it here in real life? To say nothing of how we could have survived in a deserted ruin buried in the snow. That shouldn't be possible, right? Who knows? It's mystery after mystery around here. If memory serves, the last king did build himself a study in the Mage Academy. Do you think Academia was styled after that, maybe? I wonder what His Majesty, what Moore felt when he put this little guy in Academia. The cat tends to himself quietly, utterly impartial to us. Plateau! Don't you know us? Alright, who's next? Basilio! Okay, we're to our team members now.
Yo.
Hey, out inspecting again? Seems a right pain to me, but I appreciate you going to all the effort. Making your rounds, Basilio? Making your rounds, Basilio?
Hey.
Yeah, captain of the Trian Brigade reporting in, and I'm pleased to report that there's nothing to report, Your Majesty, so I'm taking a break. Bit of a mouthful in it. Still not used to calling myself a captain besides. Oh my gosh. Fidelio would be so proud of him. Basilio's really grown the most out of all of our characters, I would say. Out of all our team members. Well, Basilio and Yufa. I mean everybody, but Basilio really... Like, he went from just following Fidelio around like a little puppy dog to, you know, really becoming his own person. We've even taken in some survivors from Luis's troops, you know. But don't you worry. I've got 2 eyes on them, and even when I ain't looking.
But...
the way I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them how power is supposed to be used, yeah? We owe it to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer are turning to a life of crime to make things meet. If Del could see Grand Trad today, his eyes would bug out. Not just Del. A lot of the guys who didn't make it. Wish they could have seen. I only wish they could have seen it for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. As long as we keep them in our memory, it's as close to saving them as we can get, Vinka included. We built this piece with a lot of blood and tears, so I say those of us who made it this far owe it all to him what didn't to protect it. Maybe I've got nothing to report today, but it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king now.
Thank you.
You've been through a lot though, so thanks for not giving up on us. Or the world for that matter. Yeah, my dad really wanted me to give up on the world. You spot any trouble that I didn't spot first, you just point me at it. I'll solve it quick like. Alright, Heisme is right here, so we might as well talk to him. Oh my, I love his little hat. Well, well, I see our king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you, but I suppose it's none of my business who comes or goes. I'm on break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over much, They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. Ah, who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That's become clear to me since becoming titled. What could be more bizarre? A UG outcast, once a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head, made knight commander. There was of course some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I've had, the more accepting they become, albeit gradually. An outcast became king too. They needn't look further than the outcast who became their king.
True.
Indeed, you face no shortage of persecution. And look at you now. Grand titles and posts across the nation are no different, spread across all the tribes. I've realized over the past year just how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not a country make.
However,
yet he stands for those very people as symbol and representative. That the king and those around him are of mixed tribes, it has already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in the rural villages. You mean your hometown? You speak of your hometown?
Yes.
Yes, indeed. They had shut themselves away and now they actively engage with other villages. Your coronation inspired that village to greater heights. It proved that barriers can be broken, and that even they could take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the changes for myself soon enough. And someday, I hope distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history books.
We shall.
We've a ways to go before that day comes, but until it does, let us forge the path toward it, Your Majesty. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Oh, let's go see Yufa. Our girlfriend.
Greetings.
Working hard as ever, William. Were you going about town and listening to what the people have to say? Myself, I've just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as Chief Magistrate. Shouldn't you delegate that?
Well,
shouldn't a Chief Magistrate delegate such tasks? That's a question I shall throw right back at you, Your Majesty.
In truth.
As you're undoubtedly aware, in the past, many citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial.
Alas.
I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone, regardless of race or status, can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally and fairly. It just goes to show anything is possible, even for a priestess to become a chief magistrate. And my brother is making great strides as village chief. He rather hated the role before, but he's truly found his calling, I think.
The reason is?
As I said, no one knows what the future holds. It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not turn to crime. And so, I practice what I preach.
Now that you mention it.
The other day, I went to visit Ovi's church to inquire with those who are sick there about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. How's Ovi? Was Ovi doing well?
Very well.
Yes, we practiced dancing together and we showed her mother. All of them are ready to ease into working again. Hitting them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had was God.
I do believe.
I want to fight for them to have options under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all tribes with all their values can join hands in harmony. That's what we need. You aim to achieve that too, yes, Your Majesty? I hope you'll allow me to keep walking alongside you in this. Oh, forever, girl! You know it. Okay. Juna!
My king.
Oh my gosh, she looks so good in this outfit. Look at her head.
My king.
Look at that portrait. I love it. Oh. There you are, William. Heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me soon. Bring any souvenirs?
In that case.
Did you bring me back any souvenirs?
Gosh.
Let's just focus on the report. Don't worry, I'll just give you the gist. Firstly, the Mage Academy's reconstruction is going swimmingly. Repairs are in full swing. We're already processing admissions. I must say, I'm still surprised you appointed me, of all people, to be the Academy's headmistress. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour as a songstress. Oh, and shall I introduce you to my furry little friend? I scooped him up in the Academy of all places. I see that. During the reconstruction, they stumbled on the little guy in some kind of observatory supposedly used by a king long ago. Considering the igniter around his neck, I'm sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in that cold, could he?
So...
Regardless, our mysterious kitty is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Academy. All that knowledge was lost when it fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may even be hiding secrets as big as the Dragon Temple or the Sanctum. Oh, and I'm keeping the cat. Feels like fate, you know?
Speaking of which...
And speaking of fate, on my way back, I met up with Myrtis. She's well, I trust?
Now we're talking.
She's been keeping well, I hope?
Yeah.
More than well. Her throat has been fine and she's a fairly prominent singer about town now. We both just keep soaring to new heights. Her in music and me coming face to face with magic again.
Hey!
Surely you remember, music was the first magic born in the world, yes? When the heart expresses itself through music, it moves the heart of others. And when they make hearts swell, why, there's no end to the magic. So just you watch. With music and magic at my side, I'm going to change the world. All will have equal opportunity to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's what my sister would have wanted. And if it makes the world a better place, why, isn't that just grand?
Magic.
Rella taught me that magic is more than a tool. It's in all of us, deep in our hearts. Yeah. Yeah.
Ripping this is.
Okay, Hulkenberg and Stroll.
Ah, goodness.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hulkenberg. She's probably a little bit peeved at me right now. Look who's next to Juna, the cat. we already talked to the kitty. You missed it. You must have missed it.
Come now.
When you've finished your business outside the palace, please promise you'll return to resume your duties, Your Majesty. If you take this as my pressuring you to not venture out, that's not it at all. Only that as a captain of the Royal Guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. Relax, Hulkenberg. You needn't be so serious, Hulkenberg. Lighten up, maybe? You mean to say I am too fussy? Well, 'tis only proper for the captain of the Royal Guard. To be overfamiliar would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalized faces of the rank and file guard.
Of course.
That said, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels now only a year past. I owe regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. But I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned he yet lived, and in the end, it was your ascent to the throne I supported.
And so?
I never tire the faces the younger guards make when I tell them of the time you acted as witness to my duel. Ah, Rodant. Ah, you mean your duel with Rodant? Yes, thanks to you I was able to face him with eyes forward and put my past behind me. I'm pleased to say the knights of today are nothing like what they were under Rodant's command. Soldiers take up their sword, not for those in power, but for the people. And as the champion of the people yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you, our king.
Well,
you do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do, though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know they protect not just a king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth.
This I vow.
I will protect you with my life, as I have always endeavored to do, Your Majesty. Only let me stay by your side to do so. Of course. Alright, Stroll! And then to Maria, wherever she is.
Say there.
Stroll, you're looking so good.
Hey.
Ah, skulking about the city again, are we? Which is to say, Hulkenberg is on the hunt. The classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which, I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. I could say the same of you. You haven't changed much either, Stroll. Ahem, that's Lord or General Stroll, Your Majesty. I'll never get used to such titles. I really should take a page from Juna's book. She has a gift for delegating, like she was born to do so. Not that I can talk. I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself.
Even so.
You know, I now see that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duties feel overwhelming at times. But there are lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives.
Hey.
Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? A fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling Elda traveler. Oh man. It feels so recently and so long ago at the same time. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd have never realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and I clearly couldn't have saved the Hallians.
Thank you.
I owe seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I've said it before, but again, thank you. Give yourself some credit. You need to give yourself some credit, Stroll.
No.
I would still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you.
Hey.
You've a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail. Now and always. It's my role as a warrior to be the vanguard.
That's why.
Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me. Now and always.
Stay there.
Course not. Course it will never change. Okay, so how do I go about finding Maria?
Let's go see.
Okay.
Ah.
Alright, let's go see. I think we've heard all we can from people. Should we head to where Maria is? Yes.
That reminds me.
Being here sure brings back memories. Remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament for the throne? She was crying back then, though. She's happy now.
But
things are different now, though. You can say that again. This country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there will always be differences of opinion. But your ideals are really coming to fruition now. I can feel it. That reminds me, what about the book? What's up with the book you're carrying around now? Is that the one you've been working on yourself?
Oh.
I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can conjure up. But maybe that's not even the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it in ink, that means you're going to make it a reality someday. Now then, Your Majesty, shall we get going?
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Oh, right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa. Even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
Prius. Am I keeping my promise?
am I keeping my promise properly from back then?
Yes, you beat the villain, and now the city's full of smiles. And I'm sure Papa's smiling down on you too.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
A place where I ought to be, a side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
And I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
You make a trusty advisor.
Yes, I expect great things, my trusty advisor.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
What are you all doing here?
Everyone!
Long time no see. How have you been?
As we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Hold on a tick. Those people there. Surely not.
Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to go at once.
Well, you did.
Needn't fuss, old thing. It's been too long since we were all together again anyway.
Lady Tuna, did you really come all this way in a runner? Could have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
The unmitigated nerve.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
Ugh.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
Well, Nuris, I think you need to, invent the telephone.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
Or maybe the fax machine, something.
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
He's right. The capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls.
A year ago, I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. I mean, let's be real. The capital isn't going to fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Of course not. We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
I'm almost done.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit?
Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
You dare hoy the king? You swine!
Steady on, Hulkenberg, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really. Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day, but we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
What a journey.
We really did just leg it up and down the country slaying dragons, eh? Can't believe we actually survived it.
Yep, we did that.
They were dangerous times, but exciting ones too.
Those dragons are still the hardest things that I fought in this game. Those dragons in the towers.
When we fought to appease the dragon god, I had no idea we would have to face another 4 dragons.
Nor I. Never thought the day would come when I'd be hailed as a dragon slayer. Huh. Life is full of surprises.
We're all always forgetting about the dragon in the mine that Grius like practically soloed.
Right.
I resolved to believe in my ideals no matter what may come, even back then. Even if the world is slow to change, a king's belief can never waver.
It was a hard road, but we did have fun together, didn't we?
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed. A veritable mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
And not long after, the new year dawned.
A journey? Are you really planning on leaving us?
Let me tell Husbando to eat without me. He's gonna be very upset. I didn't think it was gonna take this long still. I can't believe there's still 20 minutes. An hour ago, people were saying there's 15 to 20 minutes. Alright. We're going on a journey. There's more I have to see.
There's more I have to see. With my own eyes.
You want to know what's going on in the world, huh? Well, I guess you are the king.
Sounds like fun, but a daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing, and a proper journey is quite another.
Gonna need a pilot.
You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
I don't care to be kingly.
I don't care to be kingly. That's less important than doing what I need to do.
You're not even concerned? Can't you take this a little more seriously?
Hey, things are way better than when I left them. I don't know why you guys are all complaining. Or things are way better than before I came into power.
Ever the fearless gadabout, eh? Well, I take your point, lad. Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. So you want to get a better grasp of it all. That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized. So I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun besides. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the bally court engineer, I've no choice but to come along. I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all.
And good job fixing this thing up. It must have been a hell of a task.
And why, you're the Dragon Slayer King. Bane of monsters all across the country. When I imagine what sort of wondrous encounters you've got next, well, I'm all agog. Yes, here begins our quest anew. Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Sire, you've really got to stop chasing these ideas all on your own. It'll be the death of us.
Oh, they're back in their old outfits.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Nurse, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
For my part, I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh,
well, no one cares
so
what you think.
Have no plans to stop our little adventure, eh?
Hulkenberg and I talked it over. We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with you than stop you.
Thank you.
I'm glad to hear that, but will that be all right?
I was thinking back to our last fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf. In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion. Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
Gotta walk among the people. My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year? 'Tis never a dull moment in your majesty's employ.
It's a new year for us, too. You know, in that fake fantasy world.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
Okay, but can we really afford to have both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
'Tis natural course for the royal guard to accompany the king. And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right? And we'll just have to lead by example.
Then, let's go.
Right then, let's go.
And hey, Xiaman says, or however you say your name, you just beat this game yesterday. Congrats on being Luis. Oh, thank you, and congrats to you as well. How did you like it? Did you love it?
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind. Is fantasy a powerless creation? That timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know. To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land that has not yet lost hope. And it was you who answered the call.
Me?
Armed with your hope.
Me?
Armed with the power of fantasy. You rose in glory. Such courage. Such whimsy. And yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
Aww.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
Hey, we got some stowaways. Look at it. Look at that
They're
smile.
awful, aren't they? They would have left us behind. Oh.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
Well, hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Oh.
Wow! Amazing!
Poetic indeed. But the scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
I'll say, I definitely like this view better.
Let's go.
Maria gets to see the world. Oh, that caught me by surprise. Oh my god. Exactly. Now she doesn't have to just see it through pictures. Oh. Man. That was the best ending I could have hoped for. What a pleasant surprise. When he said the kid, I thought he meant me. Oh my gosh. What a great game. There's still a after credits scene.
Dear guest, from a world I shall never know.
Oh.
In your eyes, I know our journey was ultimately a fiction.
Always weirds me out when they break the fourth wall on me.
However, I hope your memories of this fantastical adventure burn as bright in your reality. I hope the promise of our world echoes in you. With all my heart, I hope that fantasy gives you strength.
Oh, the Charadrius.
Look at that. The rubble's just bait for tourists now.
I never expected a view like this.
Let's see it all. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
Metaphor 2, let's go.
A new journey now beckons. In days of Eld, the people prospered and perished in turn. Struck by their ways, I wrote a book of my dearest ideas. A tale of fantasy. In my vision, they placed their trust, and so the kingdom breathed new life.
Oh, look at these two.
The strength to believe in the unknown. That can change everything. Without a doubt, you will face all sorts of trials ahead. But carry onward with all your heart. Onward, fearless, into a world unknown.
We did it. Fantasy lives on. Better than fantasy is dead. Better than that. Okay. See where we're at. $136 hours. Yay! So good! I am not sure how I could sum this game up in just a few short minutes. This game, I spent 130 hours in it, over a month playing it, immersing myself into this world, falling in love with the characters, falling in love with the music, getting absolutely hooked on the gameplay loop. There were some crazy reveals and twists and turns. There were crazy reveals, twists and turns, emotional roller coaster, especially the second half of the game. Like from the opera and on, things get absolutely wild. Combat-wise, I think this is absolutely one of my favorites that I have played from Atlus, and I really loved a lot of the quality of life changes that they made to this game. They made it very accessible, very new player friendly. I think if someone's wanting to get into like Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, etc., that this is a good, excellent place to start. And I absolutely loved the archetype system. That was so much fun. Leveling up, getting experience. I really loved it how I leveled up my relationship with my followers, my party members specifically, that they would be able to sit on the bench, not be in battle, and still get full experience. So I was really able to have everybody an option by the end to decide who I wanted to take into the final sections of the game, and I didn't have to leave anybody behind. And these characters, man, I love them all. And it's interesting because I really fell in love with everybody. Like, trying to think of who's best boy, who's best girl. I'm pretty sure I have an idea, and it might surprise some of you guys when we talk about this at the end of the year. But it's interesting because I've seen people say that they have trouble getting into this game, that they don't really enjoy the characters that much. Maybe they didn't get very far, or maybe these characters just weren't doing it for them personally, which is perfectly fine. But me personally, I love them. There is not a single party member that I didn't care for, or that I was bored with, or that I wasn't interested in their story and their personality and wanting to get to know them. They were all fantastic. As far as the soundtrack goes, I feel like they took a very different approach than what they do in the Persona series or even the Shin Megami Tensei series. It was something very unique to Metaphor, and I really liked it. Especially, I loved it when they had some singers coming in for those battle themes and stuff. And I feel like the music isn't as catchy in general as maybe like in Persona, but I feel like it works really well for the setting that it's in, and it just really makes for an awesome medieval fantasy vibe. It's just really fitting. I don't know what else to say. It's great. All the town themes, when you're in the Gauntlet Runner, the dungeon themes. Also, the Gauntlet Runner itself was super neat. I loved how we started off going kind of slowly on land and having to stop and camp, and then we moved to like taking it to sea and eventually to the air, and it kind of reminded me of like old school Final Fantasies where you start walking, you get a chocobo, you get like maybe a car, then you get a boat, and then you get an airship, so it's like always getting better and better. And lastly, Maria is the most precious, adorable thing ever. And I love her, and I don't know why I'm starting to tear up when I'm just thinking about her. But I'm thinking about the ending where they're on the gauntlet run or going out on a new adventure, and then she's there and she is getting to see the world and explore it and go on an adventure, and it's the most beautiful thing ever. I would love for there to be a sequel. I want to play Metaphor 2. I want to go outside of the territory and explore new lands and have more adventures with Stroll and Hulkenberg and Heisme and Juna and Yufa and Basilio. I think this is my number 2 Atlus game that I've played probably. I think it's right under Persona 5. This was so good, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching my experience going through it. Very emotional one. As always, please talk to me in the comments and let me know your thoughts and your experiences with this game, and what's your favorite Atlus game? Where does this rank? How excited are you for Persona 6? What do you want to see Atlus do next? If it could be anything, what would it be? And that's gonna be it. I'm always uploading new playthroughs on the channel, so I hope to see you guys soon in another playthrough. And until next time, keep well, and we'll be seeing you around. Bye bye.